Hey, this is Jeff with Jefe Fly, hanging out here with William and Matt on Staked Out Podcast, bringing our little fly tire series. Once again, we're going to bring another guide fly. This is a fly I actually learned from William. Great fly. You can tie a lot of these. They're real quick. 2 material, really 3 material. You got your thread, eyes, and a little coyote. Now, we love coyote because you can buy big strips of coyote. You get a lot of material for not a lot of money. This fly has no flash. That's something we've learned here. Pressured fish and fish in laguna madre. Sometimes these fish want no flash at all. You'll see that I'm using a blue 210 thread. That's another thing William turned me on to, is the blue thread. Kind of gives a little bit of the blue crab, and the coyote kind of gives you get a little bit of crab coloration, but you also get the brown shrimp that are very common here on the Gulf Coast. So just, I've already tied on these eyes. We've tied up a mess of these because we're doing a little production tying to fill our boxes here. So anyway, what I like to do with a clouser, what seems to be the top here is actually about bottom of the fly. I want that a little lighter. So that's a nice thing about a coyote. The tail has some darker fibers, have some dark coloration in. I love that because you get natural barring like on a shrimp. But what I like to do is twist around to the bottom side and get some of this lighter fur here. Now, when I cut this, it's going to look like I'm using a ton of material. But something you'll find once you start using coyote is it has a lot of under fur or undergrowth or whatever that's called. So just that little, me just pulling, I get a little undergrowth. You can see this makes great dubbing, and I suggest doing that because almost half of this, the mass of this clump has been taken down there. I'm going to pull some of the super long ones out, and then I'm going to come to the very end, and I'm going to pull some of the shorter fibers out. And that, you just run your hands, your fingers through there nice and gentle. Something I like to do is I like to wet all my material before I put it down. So I'm going to go 1.5 times my hook, and I'm going to trim this off nice and flat, and then I need to bring my materials in front of my eyes, my thread, do a few wraps there. Now what I like to do is I like to lay that material down and do 1, 2, 3. I don't crank down real hard because I want to, when you crank that thread, it's naturally going to twist. If you're right-handed and you're going in this direction, it's naturally going to twist that fur a little bit. So now I can tighten it up. I don't need this to be real pretty because I'm going to come back and finish off when I do the other side. So now this is a great trick. You want to lift this tuft up, go under your eyes. I like to do 1 complete wrap of thread because now I can really tension on this. I want to go tight, 1. And then I like to do 3 or 4. On this one, I'm only gonna do 3. I'm gonna create almost what I call a lattice wrap, not a lettuce wrap, but a lattice wrap. And you'll see what that does is that makes that tail go straight out. If I just did a couple hard cranks right behind the eyes, it would puff up the tail, and it doesn't look like a true clouser. I was fortunate enough in my 20s to actually go to a shop in Houston. It was old Brooks Bolden's shop, Angler's Edge, and Bob Clouser was there, and so it was great. I got to learn from the originator of the fly. Bob actually told us all that it shocks him. The majority of the fly shops he walks in, when he goes to the Clouser band, most of them are not tied correctly. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Now, when I'm tying the top of this fly, I go to the tip. On a Coyote, this is going to be a much darker fiber, and I really like those darker fibers. There's a lot of undergrowth here, or under fur. And again, I'm just gonna grab the tips, and then I'm gonna work this out. And so, almost the majority. I mean, look how much excess I have. Save that. That's great dubbing. You just put that in a Tupperware, and it makes great dubbing. You can make a lot of stuff with that. Now, again, I'm gonna wet my material because it makes it much easier to handle. Now, I like to check my length. I like the wing part of the top fly to be slightly longer. Notice that we put no flash in this fly. So, murky water or early season fish, we can use a little bit of flash, but as the season wears on, we get in the doldrums of summer. These fish have seen a lot of flies, so you're not going to see us throw much flash at all, and we've learned that the hard way. I'm going to thin this out a little bit. Again, I'm going to wet it again. I'm going to remeasure, always measure twice, cut once. I'm gonna trim that off, and then this fly is gonna be finished really quickly. So I like to just lay it on there. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3 wraps. Now I'm gonna kind of massage it in place, get it nice and pretty. Then I'm gonna do my finish wraps where this is all pretty and nice. What I do is I start off kind of light wraps, and then as I start finishing the fly, that's when I really crank down. If you crank down too soon, it could cause trouble. It can kind of cause splaying that kind of misshapes the fly. Then I'm just going to grab my whip finish tool, do 3 or 4 wraps. I really crank down on that, and then I don't know where I learned this habit, but I always do too, just in case my first knot fails, or my first whip finish fails. Then I like to hit it with some glue. A lot of times I hit it once with the glue. I like to do top and bottom. This glue is Fly-Lite. I really like Fly-Lite. It's non-toxic. When you tie a bunch of flies, especially you start hitting them with Sharpies and stuff, the fumes can get really bad. I noticed my wife's walked into my tying room and been shocked at the level of fumes. I like to blow on it, get the fly kind of the glue setting. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of massage that hook through so I have a nice symmetrical fly. And there you have it. That's a Coyote Clouser. That's a fly we use a lot around here. Real simple, like I said. It's just coyote, lead eyes, and thread. Really simple. You can crank a lot of these out. Hope you tie this fly and you have good luck with it. Take care.